And welcome everyone to our August Town Board meeting. I'd ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to be led by Brad Hemingway from our Foreign Trade Zone. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So we are kind of excited this afternoon and pleased to recognize some outstanding individuals whose achievements in service reflect the very best of our community. And we'd like to honor 3 members of the United States Navy who recently represented the town of Islip during the FIFA World Cup ceremony. And that's Navy Counselor First Class Cole Sweetster, come forward, please. Hospital Corpsman First Class Andrew Piazza. You notice I'm better with the Italian names. And Staff Sergeant Dylan Garcia. It really is an honor to acknowledge their participation in such a significant international event and that they were standing there representing our town of Islip as well as representing our country. And more importantly, I think each and every one of the people in this room today are going to join me and thank them for their continued dedication and service to our country. God bless you all, really.
My pleasure, sir. My pleasure.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
it was my pleasure.
So about these parking tickets.
So.
I'm here for it.
Thank you guys for everything you do for our country. Thank you.
And we have a few brief announcements before we begin. Our Islip Summer Fun Series is wrapping up with the free movie nights each Monday and concerts in the park every Wednesday. The Leonard Skinner Tribute Band, Freebird, will be performing at Bay Shore at the Marina tomorrow night starting at 7 o'clock, and 2 more movies, Daddy Day Camp and a Minecraft movie, are scheduled for August 17th and 24th. The month of August also marks NBC Universal's month-long Clear the Shelters campaign. It's a cause that our animal shelter participates in every year. And during the month, the shelter is offering reduced adoption fees for all animals. So we encourage anyone considering a pet to visit the Islip Animal Shelter, not just in this particular month, but anytime really. And lastly, we would just ask everyone not to forget our back to school supply drive. Items can be donated either here at Town Hall or on the first floor lobby at 401 Main Street. And a list of supplies needed, the traditional pencils, crayons, notebooks, etc., can be found on our website. So with that, we thank you very much and we will get to our meeting. All right, we'll begin our meeting this afternoon with the scheduled public hearings. We have 4 scheduled public hearings for the board's consideration this afternoon, and I would ask the clerk to please read the first hearing notice.
Thank you, Madam Supervisor. Item number 1, to consider amending the Islip Uniform Traffic Code.
Okay, on the first hearing, no one has signed up to speak on the hearing. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to close the public hearing and present the resolution for its adoption.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Madam Clerk, the second hearing notice, please.
Item number 2, to consider amendments to Chapter 68 of the Islip Town Code entitled Zoning.
Again, no one has signed up to speak. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion from the board.
Make a motion to close the public hearing, adopt the negative declarations, and bring forth the resolution for its adoption.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved. Thank you. We will go to the next hearing notice, please.
Item number 3, to consider adopting local law number 4 of 2026, amending Chapter 50A of the Islip Town Code entitled Office of the Town Board.
Are there any people who have signed up to speak on this particular hearing? Hearing none. Is there a motion?
Motion to close the public hearing, adopt the negative declaration, and table the resolution.
Okay, we have a motion to close the public hearing and table the resolution. Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? The motion is tabled. The hearing is closed. Okay, and is that the last one?
Item
one
number
more?
4,
Thank you.
to consider adopting local law number 5 of 2026, Islip Town Code, Chapter 68-761, entitled Moratorium for the Development of Data Centers.
Okay, again, do I have a motion?
Make a motion to close the public hearing, adopt the negative declarations, and bring forth the resolution for its adoption.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The resolution is passed. Hearing is closed. Thank you. That concludes our public hearings, and we will now move to the public portion. We do have a number of people who have signed up to speak. Just to remind everyone, you have 3 minutes. This is your time to bring forward any considerations, concerns that you'd like to bring to the board's attention. It is not a question and answer period, but if you do have a specific concern, most of the commissioners are here and can meet you in the hall to address your problems. The first speaker, Dale Luongo. And again, it's 3 minutes. The timer's right up there. Yes, right to the podium, please. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dale Luongo. I live here my whole life in town of Islip with my husband, Anthony. Lifelong residents. We live on 47 Shore Lane and in Bayshore. And this is about the parking policy on our street. What's happening right now is that because we live on a street that is adjacent to the Fire Island ferries, and users of the ferries try to avoid the paid parking, it has become necessary to implement policies that restrict the parking on that street. Otherwise, our streets would be completely dominated by those trying to utilize that area for the ferries. And our street is restricted right now to 2-hour parking, no overnight parking. And this policy protects our privileges to park in front of our homes and on our own street, as well as any guests who visit the homeowner or the resident. This policy, which protects the homeowner, on the flip side, is penalizing the homeowners on my street when they inadvertently park over 2 hours, or a guest does. As much as we try to comply with these burdensome rules, in reality, we receive tickets as well as the ferry patrons, and I am sure that was never the intent of the rules. A workaround needs to be thought through to prevent these incidents. When I called the Parking Violations Department to discuss recent tickets that my guests and a cousin who lives with us incurred, I was told that many streets, about 10 to 15, like Ocean Avenue, have a pass policy in place already, and that our street did not. And the man I spoke to didn't know why. Perhaps our street was overlooked. I would say this policy, if it was extended to our street, it would be the start to a solution, but that would add that, I would add that a reusable windshield pass, something like that, available for our guests would also be useful. As it is now, guests must keep track of their time, then they disengage from their visit, then they have to go move their cars, shuffle them around, and play a kind of a game to keep from getting a ticket. And usually it works, but sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, I'm the one that's very embarrassed that my guest got a ticket and that I'm the one that pays it eventually. And the security man who writes the tickets said that we should write a note and leave it in our dashboard. But I just think a more formal version of that idea would be more reliable. You know, I value our community. I support the parking management that has been put forth, but enforcement of that present policy as it stands, I feel it's unfair and overly punitive to the people that live on that street and pay taxes. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Dale. Since you mentioned that there seems to be other streets that have a policy that would permit residents to be parking there, we'll certainly look into it and we'll get back to you.
Thank you so much. Do you want this or?
Sure, you can give it to the gentleman there and he'll hand it over. Thank you. Next speaker is Stephanie Volpe.
Would it be all right if the next person can speak together? We're on the same issue.
Probably not. Why don't you just each come up individually?
Madam Supervisor and the board, thank you for this opportunity. I just lost my thing. Hold on. Trying to zoom it in and okay, I'm Stephanie Volpe, 92 Glenmere Way in Holbrook. I know we're really early on this issue, but I wanted to call it to attention of the board. It's about the Amazon proposed building, the 4.2 million square foot warehouse they want to put in Holbrook. It's not about being anti-Amazon. It's about the scope and scale of this property that we're concerned about. It's not zoned for this use, so when it does come in front of the board, we'd appreciate a vote no on the zone change. It's to protect the residential neighborhoods. Traffic's already a nightmare with the current Amazon and Sunvet Mall traffic, with the normal Broadway Avenue traffic. So that would just be made tremendously worse. We need an independent comprehensive traffic analysis as well as an environmental study for the area since it drains into the San Souci watershed. Public safety must come first with the traffic becomes car accidents. It does look like from the renderings that we pulled from online, they want to reopen Church Street. And Church Street, I don't know if you remember, was closed down because of how deadly it was to pedestrians, specifically children that were crossing over to the Sunvet Mall. Groundwater, stormwater must be protected. We live on Long Island and we already have concerns with water, especially in that area, since part of it was already a Superfund site that had to be cleaned up from the 80s. Noise, light pollution, air quality. We question whether or not the promised benefits from Amazon would value what would happen to the community and to the nature that would get destroyed. We oppose taxpayer-funded incentives and abatements for the project. We think Amazon can afford, if they were to build here, to build without tax discounts and abatements. We would ask for full transparency. We found out about this through Newsday with repeated discussions with local elected officials with concerns about this property for the past 15 years. So finding out by Newsday was kind of hard to hear. The town does not have to improve or develop upon every single empty property, especially with all the warehouses that already exist, especially ones that are empty. So I would ask on behalf of my community if we look long and hard and reject this when it does come in front of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Next speaker, Jim Kiernan.
Madam Supervisor, members of the board, I'm not going to stand there and repeat everything she said, but
Thank you.
she really hit on all the points. I think really why we're here tonight is just to introduce ourselves to the board, because there is a huge, huge group movement coming to oppose this project. So this is at the very initial stage. There was over 200 people at the firehouse last night showing their opposition. So really what we're trying to do is just let you know this is coming. This is a big wave coming, and that everything is done above board and transparent. We met we met a couple of individuals today from the IDA and also from the planning board, and they were terrific. I mean, they gave us the step-by-step how this process goes. I mean, we're all kind of rookies at this. We're just community members, just trying to do the right thing. I've been in Holbrook a lot of years, as you could tell by just looking at me. This is a bad idea. It really is a bad idea. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jim. I'm glad you said what you said, and rest assured, there is a process that has to take place with any application, especially one like this, and it will be done with the utmost transparency. Next speaker, Gary McDonald.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know if this has anything to do with what you're talking about right now. I came to speak about the contract screening
Could you
bid.
please speak right into the microphone, please? Thank you.
I came to speak about the contract screening bids, which I heard was supposed to be awarded today.
Well, not right here, but go ahead.
Okay. I'm from Lakeland Avenue Landscape Supply. We've been screening compost for the town of Islip for over 20 years. As of this year, we were notified that we weren't going to receive the forward bid going forward. We were the lowest bidder by far on the contract. We own the equipment necessary to do the job. We had an issue this spring where a breakdown and getting parts for a machine put us a little behind, and then we weren't ready as early as we should have been. We outproduce anybody out on the island. We have the only two real large screening plants that are tuned just for compost. We screened 31,725 yards of compost in 6 weeks. Never been done before. The person next in line on the compost bid is 45 to 76% higher than we are. Our raise from last year to this year only went up 14% to cover the increase in costs and fuel and things of that nature. Really don't think it's fair to us or to the taxpayers to have to pay this increase cost in screening the product when it's hard enough on people to pay their bills now. We find it hard to believe that another company that's going to screen the same amount of material for the same money would be almost 45% higher than what we are. So the other thing I find is that nobody, including this next company in line, owns equipment that meets the bid process of 100 yards an hour. We do. We have the machines. Their machines cannot. Our mechanic and their mechanic are the same people. We know this for sure. We even offered the town when we were screening there to try to help them get caught up, to screen in advance and take a deferred payment the following year, if that's what they needed to help get out from under the bind they were in, which they said they couldn't do. It's okay. The next problem is DEC is looking to cut the size of the piles at the compost facility by 50% by early 2028, which means a lot of material has to be screened and moved. And to move all that extra material and an extra increase of 45 to 75%, I truly believe would be an unfair burden to the taxpayer.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. I would just ask, what is the name of your company?
Lakeland Avenue Landscape Supply. And like I
Thank
said,
you.
Lakeland Avenue Landscape Supply. And like I said, we've been screening the compost there
Okay.
for 20 years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker, Joseph Nicoletti.
Madam Supervisor, Board, respectively. I represent the former owner at 261 South Snedecore Avenue, Bayport. Last year, they had come in with the same thing, resolution, and took a lot of my boats, trailers, things that were worth a lot of money because they weren't registered. This all happened because it was put through 5th District and Supreme Court simultaneously. The Supreme Court ruled first. They hired private counsel. Anyone I talked to about this, different attorneys, there's no precedent for what happened. And now they have a hearing today about taking my truck and the trailer, which is all I have left there. It's a work trailer. The truck is a Hummer H1. Neither of these things are eyesores. Basically, the other part of it is the overgrowth of grass. The property was wetlands to begin with, wouldn't be built on today, but when they came in to do the cleanup, they basically sunk into the ground because there's water aquifers in different areas on the ground. Some of it is 4 foot down, some of it is like 2 feet. Anyway, they got 2 of their biggest machines stuck, and they had to get outside help to even release the machines because they were suctioned to the mud. At any point, it made huge ruts in the property. They said they would come back and grade it. They never did. I called, tried to inquire about it. Nothing. They never came back. The new owner of the house also sent landscaping companies, 2 of them, over there. And they tried to do what they could, but they had no machines that could go over these giant ruts that were made, which was all over the property. It's a corner lot, it's 1 acre. At any rate, those conditions right now are basically the result of the last resolution that they came and did what they did. I mean, it was a pretty bad hack job, and it created more problems than it solved. They took away, I mean, I have pictures of everything, but really nice boats and things that I had there. At any rate, they never gave me one piece of paperwork, nothing even written on a card. Is that my time?
Yep, that's it, sir.
That's
If
it?
you- If you have something you want to submit, by all means do, okay? If you weren't able to finish in time. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, we have no other cards for the public portion. I'll entertain a motion to close public portion. Motion and a second. The public portion is closed, and we will now move to the agenda. Okay, the first item on the agenda is the meeting of the Town of Islip Industrial Development Agency. Motion to convene. Second by Councilman Kuhn. We are convened with a quorum being present. Mr. Walzer.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Madam Chair and members of the agency board. John Walzer, Executive Director, 40 Nassau Avenue, Islip, New York. I have 2 items for your consideration today. The first item is to approve the minutes from our last agency board meeting on July 14th.
We have a motion? Any questions or comments? Motion and a second. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
Thank you. And the next item for your consideration is an authorizing resolution for Intertech Testing Services at 1 Rodeo Drive in Edgewood. It's a materials and architectural testing company. We induced this one at last month's meeting.
Any questions? Motion by Councilman McElroy, second by Councilman Guardone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
And that's all I have for you today.
Okay, and we stand adjourned.
Thank you.
Okay, next, item 2 are the Board of Cleanup resolutions.
Okay, yeah.
And good afternoon, Madam Supervisor, members of the Town Board and the Town Clerk. Jeffrey Panacci, Assistant Town Attorney, 655 Main Street, Islip, New York. I do have one property on for your consideration here this afternoon. Number one is to clean up the premises located at 261 South Snedecore Avenue in Bayport. On this vacant property, there currently exists a substantial amount of overgrown vegetation, with some areas of the front, rear, and side yards of the property containing weeds in excess of 3 to 4 feet in height. In addition, there currently exists a considerable amount of litter and debris at the property, including discarded bicycles, bicycle parts, lawnmowers, a golf cart, a Polaris off-road vehicle with assorted refuse in its rear bed, numerous gas cans, propane tanks, hand carts, ladders, totes, crates, tires, and other assorted items of refuse which constitute a nuisance and present a fire safety and health hazard. Notice of this hearing was provided to all known persons with a property interest in this premises.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Motion?
Motion.
We have a motion by Councilman
Second.
Lorenzo, second by Councilman Kuhn. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
Thank you, and
very
that's all I
much,
have.
Jeff. Next, item 3 is the meeting of the Town of Islip Resource Recovery Agency. We have a motion to convene. Motion by Councilman McElroy, second by Councilman Guardone. All those in favor, opposed, we are convened. A quorum is present. And
Good afternoon, Madam Supervisor and members of the agency board. I am Gina Cacaperto, President of the Islip Resource Recovery Agency, 401 Main Street, Islip, New York. I have 2 items for the board's consideration today. The first item is the approval of the minutes from the July 14, 2026 agency board meeting.
any questions or comments on the minutes? Motion by Councilman Guardone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved.
The next item for the board's consideration is a resolution authorizing the president to enter into a contract between the agency and Benson Contracting, Inc. for the replacement of landfill gas system at the Blydenburg Road landfill complex.
Any questions or comments on this particular resolution?
Motion?
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second by Councilman Guardone. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved.
I have no other
No
business
other
to bring before the
business.
board.
We are adjourned. Thank you. Next, item 4, the appropriation transfers. Any comments or questions on those? Motion by Councilman McElroy, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 5, authorization of town clerk to advertise for public hearing to consider amending the Town of Islip Uniform Traffic Code. Motion? Motion by Councilman Guardone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Next is item 6, authorization with the supervisor to sign any and all documents for the acceptance of funds from National Grid for the paving restoration of several roads in central Islip. Any questions? Motion?
Motion?
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Yesterday, we had a press conference out in front of Town Hall that National Grid had convened. A few of us were able to be present, sort of supporting their efforts to try to get word out to the public. Call 811 if you're going to do any kind of projects on your property, even, home landscaping project, having a tree taken down, et cetera, to call 811 and make sure that there is no gas service there that you would be interrupting. So that call 811 initiative doesn't really cost anyone any money to call. It's a 24/7 phone number that's available. So it's just that little extra bit of caution that we're just trying to get the word out. So thank you for those who were able to attend yesterday and help us get that word out. Next item is item 7, acceptance of a deed from Jillian Maxwell for one corner radius dedication of the premises located at 2 Great Cove Lane, Islip, for highway purposes. Any questions? Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 8, acceptance of a deed from JJJ Real Estate Enterprises LLC for a portion of the property located at 2 Beaver Dam Road, Islip. Questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 9, authorization for supervisor to enter into a contract with Gramercy Group, Inc. for DPW 1-2026 Highway Department Building demolition. Any questions? Motion? A motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 10, authorization with the town clerk to advertise for a public hearing to consider amendment of the Town Code, Chapter 61, entitled Vehicular Uses Fire Island. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 11, authorization supervisor to execute an assignment by John L. Petty and Elizabeth Petty to Audrey Biha Ruvola and David Ruvola for certain real property located on Captree Island. Any questions? Motion? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 12, authorization for supervisor to execute an amendment to the professional services agreement between the town and CETA Information Networking Computer USA for the installation of a gate management system component to the CUTE system at Long Island MacArthur Airport. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 13, authorization supervisor to enter into agreement with Go Autoplane LLC to utilize 20 parking spaces in parking lot 10 at Long Island MacArthur Airport with monthly license payments. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 14, authorization supervisor to apply for and accept funding from the New York State Office of Children and Family Services for recreational, cultural, social, and educational programs in the town of Islip. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Kuhn. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 15, authorization supervisor to execute an agreement with Race is Awesome to provide services in relation to conducting the Northwell Health Great South Bay Run on October 3rd, 2026. Questions? None. Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 16, authorization for supervisor to apply for and accept funding from the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York for the furnishing and installation of screens at the Central Islip Senior Center. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Kuhn. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. And we thank Assemblyman Ramos for his help in securing that grant funding. Item 17, authorization for the supervisor to enter into several agreements for programs or events to be held throughout the town of Islip. And again, there are so many, and we appreciate the efforts of the department in getting this all together. Any questions? Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 18, authorization for supervisor to execute an amendment to the professional services agreement with Haydick Engineering LLC for engineering and design services for sewer connections at the East Islip Marina. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 19, authorization for supervisor to execute an amendment to the professional services agreement with L.K. McLean Associates PC for additional full-time administration and construction inspection services. Any question? Motion? Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 20, acceptance of a deed from the Sisters of St. Joseph for a piece of property at the southeast corner of Brentwood Road and 3rd Avenue, Brentwood, for a corner radius dedication for highway purposes. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 22. Let me just see, 21. Authorization for the supervisor to execute an agreement with the Community Development Agency, thereby the CDA will reimburse the town of Islip for public facilities improvements related to the Central Islip Downtown Revitalization Initiative, enhancing the pedestrian experience. Any questions? Motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Gordon. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. This is one of the first initiatives through that downtown revitalization grant that we were able to receive through the intercession of the state and Governor Hochul. We received a $10 million grant for Central Islip Corridor, Carlton Avenue, from Smith up north to Suffolk Avenue. And this is one of the first projects that are being done, so very exciting. We move next to 22. Authorization for supervisor to execute a contract with Waterside Contracting Corp., Inc. for DPW 2-2026 Browns River Marina Construction, East Marina. Any questions?
Motion?
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Item 23, acceptance of funds from National Grid to compensate the Department of Public Works for the paving restoration required of various roads due to the 2025 Islip Terrace gas replacement project, MSLI 11-200-862. Any questions? Motion by Councilman Guadrone, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Next, item 24 are the bid awards. We have 4 bids to accept. I'm going to make a motion that we take bids 2 through 4, tabling bid 1 for further review. And do I have a motion?
I think, do we still have to make the other motion? So we do, number 4 was an add-on, so we have to make a motion to waive the rules to add this time-sensitive bid. And then we can make the motion to table.
Okay, so the motion would be to accept bids 2, 3, and 4, first waiving the rules for the add-on of 4. So let's do that. We have a motion and a
motion,
second. All those in favor of waiving the rules and adding item 4, and then accepting or approving items 2 through 4, tabling item 1. Do I have that motion? Motion by Councilman Lorenzo, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Okay, that takes us to 25, the option year resolutions. I know that they've been reviewed by the board. Do I have a motion? A motion by Councilman Lorenzo. Second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? Approved. Item 26, special events. Any questions? Lots of homecoming parades, etc. We have a motion by Councilman McElway, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Next, we have we have 3 reappointments to the board of the Community Development Agency. These are volunteer positions. Item 27, Maria Vidal. Item 28, Manuel Troch. And item 29, Debbie Kavanaugh. I'll take a motion to approve all 3.
Motion?
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second by Councilman Guadrone. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Maria Vidal, Manny Troch, and Debbie Kavanaugh. Item 30, the appointment of Scott Romano as a member of the Community Development Agency Board. Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Motion by Councilman Kuhn. Do I have a second? Second. Second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? It is approved. Item 31, appointment of Deirdre Wahlberg to the position of Deputy Commissioner for the Department of Environmental Control.
Motion?
We have a motion by Councilman Kuhn. Do I have a second? We have a second by Councilman McElway. All those in favor? Opposed? List me as an abstention, please, Madam Clerk. And item 32, the appointment of Mary Pat Kluber to the position of Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs.
Motion?
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second by Councilman Lorenzo. All those in favor? Opposed? Please again list me as an abstention. The motion is approved. And that is it for the agenda today. Motion to adjourn. Thank you
Motion.
all so much and enjoy the rest of our dwindling summer.